Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Brand new video on Marvel Contest of Champions. And before I get into this video, I just want to kind of make a point that unfortunately a lot of fake news, obviously Donald Trump, fake news, has been going around the community with regards to information about the next kind of 4 champions, including Vulture's abilities and Dr. Octopus's abilities. And we haven't really had any kind of clear-cut information. There's been a lot of fake data mine stuff. So I think it's really kind of important that we try and rely on trusted sources as opposed to people that maybe, as Seaton says, circle jerking information around the community. To start off with, this video supports Marvel Contest of Champions Trucos and MCSO mods. Links to both their channels in the description because they data mine the correct information, in particular the little bit of character kind of titles which we see on top of each character. As we can see, we had Vulture, we had Spider-Man movie, which will probably become Homecoming in the future. And also, we see Dr. Octopus. I thought it would be Dr. Oct, but it's more apt to give it the more correct title of Dr. Octopus, or Dr. Octavius would have been sufficient. But Dr. Octopus, I'll settle for. And finally, Green Goblin. So it's a big push for Spider-Man enemies, which probably means that the event that we're going to see is a 2-parter. That seems fairly logical. So a standard buy for Vulture kind of charts his, as Adrian to him, as his kind of quest to kind of gather alien technology and weapons and stuff like that, and create this kind of super winged suit, which, well, is out for no good, as most villains are. Now, a lot of people who have read different stuff from other kind of sources will know that the special one is called Wing Pack Strike, Engine Flare on the second, and then the third special is Hybrid Alien Technology. On other videos and sources, it's a little bit different. People have said that this is going to be Winged Assault, this is going to be Obliteration, and the final one is going to be Razor Winged Strike. This is a complete load of bollocks and is again disappointing that we've got a load of fake information being fed through the community. Granted, the kind of issue with data mining is that as soon as it's data mined out, Kabam can't kind of go, oh yes, it is going to be that, definitely this. Instead, we've got information that's taken out, and like the only true reliable sources at the moment that I would trust will be MCSE mods and Marvel Contest of Champions Trucos. Those are the 2 sources I trust for information. Anything else is taken with a kind of pinch of salt. Yeah, it could be right. It could be right. But these are the trusted sources. The signature ability taps into Chitauri technology in that you can absorb any incinerate debuff and apply it to Vulture, using it to fill his Chitauri energy. Obviously, that's going to be applicable, and we'll talk about it in a minute. Additionally, while the opponent is incinerated, it gains X power per second. So you burn, I get power. That's pretty cool. As said earlier, Chitauri energy is pretty darn important. Like we've seen with Punisher 2099, and with regards to say his battery being charged, the same thing kind of applies here. There's like an energy core, and we're absorbing energy into the Chitauri core of some kind to help us out. Dodges, dashes, and evades, something that's used in this passive ability for Vulture, which is quite unique and pretty original from Kabam, so hats off to them for this. The idea that you spend your Chitauri energy and then you're dashing away and then you're dashing back, and sometimes if it's hitting and it's missing, then your power stealing, also that, or draining the power even, and likewise if you're dodging back and you kind of like hit the block, or kind of like to hit away actually. So, dodges, dashes, and evades. How is that important? Completely significant, because on the passive ability of Vulture, and credit to Kabam because they put something original into what they're doing. I like the idea that you can get away from the enemy, and at the same time do things like power stealing if it's missing when you're dashing back. Likewise, when it comes to your dodging away from like evading attacks, you can put an incinerate on the enemy, so that's pretty cool. Like, we've not had that before. And just to clarify, because obviously there's a load of bullshit going around that he regens, he does not regen. That's just a load of rubbish. Armor up. So this is another kind of cool concept that depending on how many Chitauri energy you've got, and it's important, you know, collect your Chitauri energy, because it can mean more armor, but at the same time they do get spent through the fighting in the game, as we've just seen with the abilities that we've read. The next thing is that the buff is, well, if it's removed by nullification, then that means that you can refresh it. So after X amount of seconds, it gets refreshed, which is excellent. So what's great is SB1 drains power, and it's kind of cool because when we're reaching stuff like all or nothing kind of like nodes, and we're fighting its enemies that get an extensive amount of power gain, it's really important to kind of take off that power as quickly as possible. And the downside, I think, I find with most champions at the moment is it's usually around about the L2 that, you know, Dr. Voodoo, Magic even, you know, it's reaching L2 in order to strip down power. This character does it on the L1. Fantastic. Incredibly helpful for the situation. And the SP2 does that and a little bit more, so that's great. With all that being said and done, obviously, number one, I'm pretty disappointed that there is a lot of fake news going through about this. I will try and cover this in an MCOC news video later on today, if not tomorrow. But what are your thoughts on this Spider-Man event? Are we likely to get a two-parter for July and August? Are they going to break and then do it a further month? But it seems fairly likely that they're going to do a back-to-back thing. I mean, I don't think they would be so stupid enough to put 4 new champions into the game in 1 month. That would be pretty stupid. But also at the same time, I don't know if having so many villains of this nature is a kind of a good idea. Maybe it would have been best saved for, say, now having one and then maybe waiting, I don't know, for the next Spider-Man film, which probably be after Infinity Wars. So we're probably looking, you know, another 3 to 4 years, which kind of then would be better to kind of tie in a lot of stuff with the game, and it doesn't feel too much like all at once. So hey, you know, what are your thoughts on this? Leave them in the comments below. Are you happy that there's loads of Spider-Man villains and a new Spider-Man character? Are you not so happy and would kind of go like, oh, I would kind of prefer to kind of just have the villains and not Spider-Man because we've got classic Spider-Man? What are your thoughts? It's time to let your feedback let loose in the comment section. So remember, trusted sources first, guys. And thanks very much for watching this video. Like, share, subscribe, and I'll catch you on the flip side. Bye-bye for now.